Hello everyone and welcome to another Florida Data Science Academy tutorial video. I'll be instructor Dylan Sinnickson, and today we'll be going over a lot of basic Excel tips that are quite helpful if you're going to be working in Excel. So the data set that you see here is discharge rates from the Suwannee River in Florida, and I wanted to start off by giving you a very basic Excel tip. So let's say I wanted to highlight all of the discharge values from, I think my data set goes from 1997 to 2020. Obviously, I could go and highlight all the way down. Actually, sorry, it goes to 2018. But if I wanted to highlight all the way down to row 265, I can do that, but it can be rather tedious. So a simpler way that is very effective when you're working with larger data sets is that you can highlight a row in the column that you would like to select, and then on a PC you hold Control Shift and the down arrow, and it automatically highlights all of the rows in the column that you're interested in. And then I can even highlight the rest of the columns in my data set by again holding Control Shift, and now I'm going to click the right arrow and I highlight all of the values in my data set. So the Control Shift and down arrow is a very effective way for highlighting data in a large data set. And let's say I wanted to transpose my data. So right now I have my data being demonstrated in a long format, but let's say I wanted to have the data presented in a wide format. So one thing I can do is highlight all of my months from January to December. I can click copy, and if I want them to be presented horizontally, I can paste them in and selecting the transpose button, and you can see that all of my selected months are now transposed horizontally, and now my data can be presented in a wide format, which can be quite helpful if you would like to transpose data. And I will give you a couple more Excel tips as I clear my contents there. And let's say I wanted to create a formula that would change all of the discharge rates and lower them by 20%. Let's say we're projecting drought scenarios and we want to lower discharge by 20%. So I can write a new column called projected discharge, and this is going to be equal to the discharge in column A. And then I'm going to multiply it by 0.8. So I'm going to see a 20% reduction in all of the discharge rates. And then, so if I wanted to highlight, if I wanted to have these projections for all of my values in column A, I would have to drag all the way down to row 265, but that can be pretty tedious and sometimes it's difficult to do that. So another Excel tip that I like to recommend is just double clicking in the bottom right hand corner of the cell that you're interested in, and you can see that automatically all of the cells are populated and they're all equal to the cell in row A, and then we're multiplying it by 0.8. So that's just another way of, that's very easy to populate a given column, and it's very effective. So again, you're just putting your cursor on the bottom right hand corner of your cell, and then you're double clicking that double arrow. And moving on to the fourth Excel tip I'd like to show you guys is using, if you're wanting to copy and paste certain values and not the entire formula. So I'm going to click Control, Shift, and down, and I'm highlighting all of the rows in column D. And let's say I wanted to move the rows in column D to column F. So I could copy them, and then if I paste them by holding Control and V, you see that I'm getting a lot of strange values, and they're actually, now my formula is moving from taking the cell in row A, and instead it's taking the row in cell C, and that's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to copy and paste the values from column D. I didn't want to change the row in which it was referencing. So in order to copy and paste values, sorry, I'm going to click Control, Shift, and down. I'm going to clear these contents, and what I originally wanted to do is copy and paste just the values. So in order to do that, I can right click, and then I'm going to select paste and the 1, 2, 3 button, which represents values. And you can see that only the values are now being presented in column F. So if you double click in there, we just see the values. We're not seeing the entire equation, which was being represented by referencing cell A and then multiplying by 0.8. So if you just want to copy and paste values, you right click and then you click copy and then you click copy pasting values. And the last Excel tip I'd like to leave with you guys is, let's say I wanted to sort my data. Right now, I'm demonstrating, presenting the data in a chronological format, but let's say I wanted to sort the data from the highest to the lowest values. So I can do that by selecting all of the discharge values with Control, Shift, and down, and then I can click in Home, and then I can sort either from largest to smallest, and I click Sort, and you can see that all of my values are now being presented from the highest discharge rates all the way down to the lowest. And I can also sort my values from the smallest to the largest. Again, I'm clicking in Home, and then I'm clicking Sort and Filter, and then I'm sorting from the smallest to the largest. And then we would like to expand the selection. That means we're going to, the values in B, C, and D are also going to change respectively. And we can see that when we sort from smallest to largest, now in column A, we're having the discharge rates, the lowest discharge rates presented first, and then we're moving all the way down to the largest discharge rates in cell 265. So those are 5 Excel tips that I think are really important if you're going to be doing a lot of data analysis in Excel. And thanks a lot for your time, and stay tuned for more Florida Data Science Academy tutorial videos. Thank you.